Ah, the tomato, a taste of sunshine, the star of salads, the king of sauces. Growing your own tomatoes is a joy, and we're here to guide you every step of the way, from tiny transplant to juicy harvest. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, this guide will provide the know-how to cultivate a thriving tomato patch. We'll cover everything from watering and feeding to dealing with pesky pests and diseases. Get ready to enjoy the fruits, or rather, vegetables of your labor. There's nothing quite like plucking a ripe, sun-warmed tomato from your own garden and savoring its deliciousness. So let's dig in and get those tomato plants thriving. Just like us, tomatoes need a good drink to flourish, but how much water is enough, and how often should you be reaching for the watering can? Tomatoes thrive in consistently moist soil, but be careful not to overdo it. Overwatering can lead to root rot, a real party pooper for your plants. The key is to water deeply and less frequently. This encourages the roots to grow deeper into the soil, making them stronger and more drought-resistant. A good rule of thumb is to water deeply when the top inch of soil feels dry to the touch. Remember, it's always better to underwater than overwater. Now that we know how important watering is, let's talk about the best way to deliver that precious H2O to your tomato plants. While you can certainly water by hand, using a soaker hose or drip irrigation system is the most efficient and effective method for tomatoes. Drip irrigation delivers water directly to the roots, reducing evaporation and minimizing the risk of fungal diseases that can thrive in damp foliage. Plus, it saves you time and effort. Simply set up your system and let it do its thing, delivering a slow and steady supply of water to your thirsty tomatoes. Unfortunately, our beloved tomatoes are like tasty treats for some pesky critters, but don't worry, we've got you covered. One common culprit is the tomato hornworm, a large green caterpillar with a voracious appetite for tomato leaves. Keep an eye out for these munching machines and remove them by hand. Another frequent flyer is the aphid, a tiny sap-sucking insect that can weaken plants. A strong blast of water from the hose can often dislodge these unwanted guests. Remember, early detection is key to preventing widespread pest problems. Regularly inspect your tomato plants for any signs of trouble. Section 5. Battling blight and other diseases. Just like pests, diseases can also put a damper on your tomato growing endeavors, but fear not, with a little knowledge you can keep these ailments at bay. One common foe is early blight, a fungal disease that causes brown spots on leaves and fruit. Provide good air circulation by spacing plants adequately and remove any infected leaves promptly. Another troublesome disease is blossom end rot, which causes a dark sunken area on the bottom of the fruit. This is usually caused by inconsistent watering or a calcium deficiency. Maintain even soil moisture and consider using a calcium supplement if needed. Section 6. Healthy habits for happy tomatoes. Just like us, tomatoes thrive when they have a healthy lifestyle. By following a few simple practices, you can ensure your plants are strong, vibrant, and bursting with fruit. First and foremost, choose a sunny spot for your tomato patch. Tomatoes need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight per day to produce their best. Next, provide your tomatoes with rich, well-drained soil. Amend the soil with compost or other organic matter to provide essential nutrients. Finally, don't be afraid to give your plants a little boost with some fertilizer. A balanced fertilizer applied every few weeks will help your tomatoes reach their full potential. Section 7. Support system, staking your tomatoes for success. As your tomato plants grow taller and heavier with fruit, they'll need a little support to prevent them from flopping over. Staking your tomatoes not only keeps them upright, but also improves air circulation, reduces disease, and makes harvesting a breeze. There are many different methods for staking tomatoes, from individual stakes to cages and trellises. Choose the method that best suits your garden space and the variety of tomatoes you're growing. Whichever method you choose, be sure to stake your tomatoes early on, before they become too top-heavy and difficult to manage. Section 8. Harvesting happiness, knowing when to pick. Finally, the moment we've all been waiting for. Harvest time. Knowing when to pick your tomatoes is key to enjoying their full flavor and juiciness. Tomatoes are best harvested when they're fully ripe and have developed their full color. Gently squeeze the tomato. It should feel slightly firm but yield to gentle pressure. Avoid picking tomatoes that are overly soft or have any cracks or blemishes. If you need to harvest tomatoes before they're fully ripe, you can ripen them indoors at room temperature. Once harvested, enjoy your delicious tomatoes fresh from the garden, or use them in your favorite recipes. Section 9. Tomato Troubleshooter FAQs. My tomato plants are leggy and spindly. What's wrong? This is often a sign of insufficient light. Make sure your tomato plants are getting at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight per day. My tomatoes have cracks on the skin. What causes this? A cracking is usually caused by inconsistent watering. Maintain even soil moisture, especially when the fruits are developing. How do I know if my tomatoes have blossom end rot? Blossom end rot appears as a dark sunken area on the bottom of the fruit. It's often caused by a calcium deficiency or inconsistent watering. Can I save seeds from my tomatoes to plant next year? Yes, saving seeds from heirloom varieties is a great way to preserve those varieties for future generations. What are some good companion plants for tomatoes? Basil, onions, garlic and marigolds are all great companion plants for tomatoes, as they can help deter pests and improve growth.